you look at this particular picture, you know, this one, oh yes, American Idol, and a very, well, shocking appearance, literally around the time of the coronation concert, because that, of course, featured the panelist Katy Perry and the superstar Motown singer, that is Lionel Richie, who did a sterling job, I thought. A little bit nervous on that coronation concert, but it was wonderful. Now, when you look at this, I mean, you kind of think, wow, you know, there is, of course, the King and the Queen appearing on American Idol to a very rapturous American audience. But when you look back, people say, oh, this was a bit of a shock. We didn't see it coming. Well, it may surprise you as to just how many cameos royals have actually done, really starting out at the very beginning of when motion picture took place. Let me explain. Chums, good to see you. Thank you so much for your time. I don't know about you, but you know, when you're younger, you never liked your picture taking, did you? You might say, oh, Neil, you're a show-off, you're in show business. You did. No, it's funny. You do find with most people who are in show business, they're quite shy, you know. Yes, you just not believe it. But believe it or not, you can be shy. It's a different thing if you put a spotlight on the sound of the music and you have to perform. That's the job. That is exactly the point. But of course, if you're royal, you're supposed to be good at everything, aren't you? You know? And as I said at the start of the video, when you look back, we look at, say, the King and the Queen popping up on American Idol, a show I might point out that I've also appeared on. Yes, I'm not boasting here, chums, but, you know, just like to let you know a few credentials. Terrifying, actually. Yes, not that it bothered me the singing or anything. What I didn't really like, I'll let you into a secret, is they just want you to follow the, like, karaoke auto cue box. And I knew the song, but they wanted you to look directly in that so they can make you look nervous by having your eyes open, looking at the auto cue. You see, these are the things you don't know. Oh yes, I'd like to let you know these secrets. I didn't bother. Yes, I think Ryan, of course, had enough of me by the end of that. You know, Paula Abdul was nice to me though, so who cares? You know, good experience. But what was fun about that particular thing is, and as I say, this is also interesting the way that things work with royalty, is literally the first person to make a cameo by default on a camera was none other than Edward VII. This was because they took the motion picture cameras, the movie cameras, whatever you call it, to the palace to see what he thought. And by default, he wandered in and out of this shot. And so he was the first person, realistically, to appear in a cameo. Of course, this hasn't gone unnoticed throughout the years. For my generation, I remember Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, popping up on the very much respected TV show A Question of Sport. Very popular back in the day, and her appearance was kind of shocking. She also appeared on a chat show, but the first person to actually sit down for a television interview was none other than His Royal Highness, the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip. Louis Mountbatten appeared in This Is Your Life. He so loved the sort of glare of the spotlight. But of course, when you look at the other people, like, say, Princess Margaret, she was very big friends with Peter Sellers, appearing in a lot of his home movies as well, on the proviso they were never going to be shown. But we know that's never the case. And you see, when you look back at, say, Lord Louis Mountbatten, Charlie Chaplin and Mary Pickford, he was in that very early silent footage because he could see the value of what this was going to become, an appearance. But I suppose the ultimate one, when you look about royal cameos, and you know what I'm going to say, yes, you're thinking Bond. No, I'm thinking Paddington Bear. But you're right, Bond, of course, celebrating our wonderful achievements over here. In the United Kingdom, well, the Queen, Daniel Craig, the Corgis, and that Bond parachute jump was simply terrific. I mean, whichever way you look at it, we have Philip to thank for that. He said, this is a good idea, you should do it. And consequently, she listened to Philip. But really, the ultimate cameo was none other than Paddington Bear, because while she couldn't attend all of that wonderful celebration due to her illness, wasn't it nice to see the Queen just enjoying herself, keeping the marmalade sandwich in her handbag, when all the time we thought it was simply a tube of lipstick? You see? And that's the thing about a royal cameo, it can shock you. But there were many others along the way, and there were many that didn't actually make the grade. We've seen people like His Majesty the King having a go at presenting the weather in a fun way. But lots of times, lots of film companies, as I told you, wanted to get the royal cameo in, whether it were using sort of real footage of them at Royal Ascot in films from the Rank organisation in the 1950s, to of course inserting the real live coronation into movies around that period as well. But of course royals remain big business and people don't think they've appeared in these things. But when you chip away, you realise that in fact the royals have popped up on your screen, playing ultimately themselves on more occasions than you care to remember. Of course, the one person who didn't necessarily like it was none other than Princess Margaret, who appeared on Desert Island Discs. And they said, "Did you enjoy the experience?" And she said, "Well, it was interesting, but it wasn't one that I'd want to repeat again." So make of that what you will. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.